What's going on, people? Y'all know who I am, JayeDeBlack. Welcome to another edition of the Basic Social Politics Podcast with JayeDeBlack. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting me, been following, been sharing, been donating. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you continue to do more of it. The reason why I do not put these on YouTube is because certain conversations can't be had. I've been making content for over 5 years, and I get a I can read the room, so to speak, and I understand that certain conversations people can't handle it. One in particular is about black relationships and protection. Okay, and on this show today, I have a co-host. Some of you may recognize her voice. I actually interviewed her. The interview's still on the channel. Y'all can go check it out. And she is a licensed celebrity cosmetologist, right?
Yes.
And also she is a trader. Stock trader, right?
Yes. Well, stocks is a little bit different from Forex. Forex, you can
Yeah,
kind of
forex.
make
Excuse
your,
me,
yeah,
forex, right?
it's okay.
Yeah. And I'm bringing her back to the show. Her name is Jaquel. I call her Jackie. Well, I'm gonna start calling her Jackie now. But go ahead and introduce yourself again for the people who may not know you, right?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, or good night to
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are in the world.
Uh-huh.
My name is Jaquel Jones Sy. I am a wife. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
licensed cosmetologist. And I am a Forex trader. So you basically can call me a entrepreneur, if you
Oh
may
yeah.
say.
Jacqueline of all trades, right?
Yes, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the reason why I brought you on, because when I thought of this topic, I said, you know what, I want to bring on a melanated woman who is married, who works for herself, who is around uh, people, celebrities, right? You're surrounded by people who are part of the industry, and I want to get your take on this because all I'm hearing is how melanated women are not being protected. Okay, now I've let it be known that I just don't believe that there are melanated women out here that are not getting protected. Right. I think that it's being used, it's being weaponized to attack people who have nothing to do with certain situations or individuals. I think it's a play to push a victimhood narrative. When you have black women out here who are clearly being protected, being provided for, being loved. So, what is your take on this new movement to demonize melanated men as being non-protectors of melanated women?
Well, I think that's really interesting because if you kind of look back into why they may see their significant other, someone they're speaking to as not protecting them,
Mm,
they may want to look back at the person who brought them into the world who didn't
right.
protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think that's where it stems from. If it started in your household, when you leave your household, you'll continue to have that aspect of not feeling protected.
Right. And I definitely feel that. I have said it. I believe there are a lot of people who deal with trauma. There are a lot of
Hmm.
people who have had things done to them growing up and they never really felt protected. They felt abandoned. They felt unloved. And that's why you have people seeking love in the ways that they seek it. And they go to different lengths in order to get that love. You see, I'm one of those people. Hold on, I'm one of those people that I like to be real with people. I don't want to be fake with people. That's why there'll be people who either really like what I say or really they think that I'm a woman basher. I had literally had a female message me saying, she did in my comment section on Instagram. She said, why do you bash women? You're a woman basher. Okay? And it's interesting because I don't curse women out. I don't lie on them. I just speak on things from my perspective in an honest manner that they may have never seen before. Because there are people with a delusional mindset. And I'm just trying to wake them up and put them up on real game. Because a lot of times they live in a bubble and they don't understand that to really truly be happy in life, you have to understand the world around you. And if you don't, and you come across people who are not a part of that bubble in your life, you're going to feel some type of way because they're going to speak in ways that you don't understand.
Yes, agreed.
Now, also, since I've been on YouTube, right, there has been like an ongoing so-called gender war. And I'm noticing that people are saying that because of what's going on between melanated men and melanated women, right? That there's somehow a war between each other once again. Some people are saying it's because of the election with Kamala Harris, the fake black woman, and they're saying you got all these black women who are supporting her, and they're upset because black men don't support her. So, in your eyes, being around the people that you've been around, do you get the sense of there being a gender divide?
Um, no, because I think the world I live in is just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it kind of depends on your atmosphere and your environment because I don't get that in my world.
Right.
And if I was to get that happening in my world, I think I would just remove it and know that that's something that you're dealing with within your own world, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm one of those people. I see things from my perspective and the things that I've experienced, and I sense that there is misunderstandings. I sense that people go through things, but at the end of the day, we are responsible for what we put out, and I'm all about putting out logical truth that may offend people, that may upset them, that may hurt them, but at the end of the day, they're going to respect the fact that I'm being that way. You know. Also, let me ask you this: do you think that melanated women with education, do you think that they kind of put it in people's faces too much?
That's a great question. I mean, well, hmm. I feel as if maybe they're just excited or just proud of themselves for even being able to achieve that. But it is all about how you do it, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to, do it to the max to where you're belittling someone else to the left or the right to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you do definitely want to stand up and be proud of the achievements that you've made or the titles that you have.
Right.
So I think you just have to have a even balance. And if you're so educated, you'll know how to
Yeah.
read the room and you'll know when to turn it down a notch or when you should, I guess, turn it up a little bit more.
Yeah, because I just noticed that the first thing that's said, like when a melanated woman is single, she be like, I got degrees, I got this job, a man, I have these standards, and it's like, well, guys don't. To be honest, guys, especially higher value guys, don't really care about your college degree. Like they date mostly airheads. They date women who are about their physical, their beauty. They want women that are trophies, not necessarily a woman that's going to be doing your accounting or a woman that's going to have a bossy mentality when they're not at work. They bring that stuff home. Like they're not really looking for that, especially if they have money and resources to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot of single melanated women out here who are just frustrated. And when you see this whole thing about protection, and they're talking about how this isn't being done for them, that being done. I think you just have a lot of frustrated women out here. Like, do you get the sense that women are more frustrated about being single and not being able, like yourself, to be married and have that family dynamic?
I think to those women, they have to kind of ask themselves why they're not able to find that. And I also think sometimes women, they do tend on taking the role of being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's nothing wrong with that because I've always called myself a ringleader most of my life
Okay.
because I felt like each different phase of my life, I kind of was a leader in a sense, but you can't be a leader when you're trying to become a wife or if you're in a relationship, because then what are you kind of showing your man? A man, a real man at the end of the day, he wants to be able to lead his family. He wants to be able to be seen as a leader. So if you want to play that role, well, it's not really going to work. And I kind of think that a lot of women, they don't really have that kind of instilled in their head too much because they're just so used to being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel as if being a leader will help get them chosen. But
Mm-hmm.
the man is just going to look at you and in his mind just think, well, I'm the leader. So
Mm-hmm.
now, like, what are we both going to do? We both can be leaders in a certain type of way,
Uh-huh.
but in a sense, you have to know that I am the man of our relationship. It can only be one man.
Right. Like, what do you think about women that say they want equal 50-50 uh, partnership in a relationship? Do you think that's doable, or do you think there needs to
No.
be a clear leader?
No, I think it just needs to be a clear leader.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really want to bring her up. I know it's been a lot of controversy on what she said,
Okay.
but Jeannie Mai, in a sense, she did say it the best.
Uh-huh.
Not to throw my black sisters under the bus, but
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
can
you just
relate
being
because
honest. You're
for
not throwing them on the bus. You're being
yeah,
honest. Don't worry about that,
yeah,
man.
because for me, I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot of things that have to get done,
Uh-huh.
and I do love it when I can just kind of fall back and let my leader of the house handle things, and I don't think it's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly, and that's the thing. I've been noticing. Jeannie Mai, she triggered a lot of melanated women. Like I've seen all these videos, response videos. One female said, "Well, she's not gonna be submitting to him. He's gonna be submitting to her," and they're like really upset. They're really upset about it. I'm like, why would he marry? I had there's a female calling into my show saying some shit like that. Like, why would he propose to marry a woman if she is not in her own way submitting to him in the sense of being more feminine and taking her role as a feminine woman in a relationship seriously? Like, why would he get engaged to her?
right,
Why would he want to marry
again,
that?
right, again, I think it's just most women they're seeing things as if they kind of live in their own bubble, as if they just want to continuously take control or be in control. And at the end of the day, it's like you already have enough things to be in control of. Why do you want to be in control of the
Right.
relationship? Like that's okay. You don't have to wear that hat. You can take that hat off and
Mm-hmm.
let him worry about that. And if he's not worrying about that, then that's when you should be worrying about why you're with him.
Exactly, and that's a good segue to leadership. But let me ask you this, because I know there's gonna be single women watching. They always watching, and they either like what I'm saying or they really don't. They're waiting to just, oh, you're bashing. But anyway, what qualities made you want to get married to your husband? Like, what was the qualities that you said this is the person for me?
Well, I liked his consistency
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a consistent person myself. And
Okay.
I always said that, like, if you can't be consistent, then I don't really want any parts of you
Mm-hmm.
because then that's me giving more to you than you're giving to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw that he really cared and he loved me more. Not
Mm-hmm.
that I don't love him more, but
Right.
when you're seeking a relationship, as a woman, it's very important for you to know that your spouse is going to go above and beyond. And I think a lot of these women in this new generation is kind of opposite. They want to love a little bit more. And there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that,
Right.
but you have to stick to kind of the old school way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Your man is supposed to be the protector, the provider. He's supposed to go a little bit more above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So those were definitely some of the
Yeah, and
qualities.
those are very those are that's definitely what I would see woman looking for, as far as, like you say, consistency and clear leadership. Because I know I spoke about 50-50. I see that a lot. You got women saying we should be 50-50, and I'm like, that's not gonna work if you have masculine if you have a masculine mindset. Like, how is that gonna work if you're not in your feminine? Like I've said, I can't be around a woman in my life, my personal life, if she has masculine traits. Like, if she feels a need to be a leader, if she cannot follow me, because I feel like I'm a very capable guy. I think I'm more intelligent than others socially, and I'm more aware of myself. I feel like if I'm with somebody, they should be in their feminine, not in their masculine. Like, you can't tell me what to do, and I've accomplished a lot in the short amount of time being on this earth, and tell me that you're doing this wrong, doing it wrong. Now again, you can have criticisms of certain things, but you got women that they just can't let the reins go. Now maybe it's because, like with Gina Mai, grew up with a domineering mother. In a lot of women's minds, they feel like they have to be in control because they don't trust men. That segues to the other thing about women trusting male leadership. Like, to me, the only way to truly accept leadership is to accept letting go of being a leader. Because I know a woman, when
Yeah.
she's around a guy who's strong and mentally capable, she's willing to let go. But for some reason, it's taking some women it's taking them a long time to really find that. Why do you think that is?
Well, yeah, just going back on what I said when we first started speaking,
Uh huh.
it has a lot to do with the household that they grew up in. Like the household I grew up in, I grew up with a single mother.
Mm
I watched my mother wake up early in the morning. I watched my mother do my hair. I watched my mother pay most of the bills herself.
hmm. Mm
I watched my mother kind of play the mother and father figure roles where sometimes when Father's Day would come around, I'd be like, Happy Father's Day.
hmm. Mm hmm.
But now that I'm old enough, I can understand that I don't have to be that strong, independent leader because I
Mm
have someone by my side who's willing to do that part for me. So
hmm.
I can
Right.
kind of just sit back and play on my femininity. And he loves that because he loves me being feminine. He
Right.
loves me, just kind of playing the back seat and
Mm
just letting him be the man.
hmm.
And I
Right.
love that too because I don't have to put so much stress on myself
Mm
to
hmm.
do everything by myself.
Right.
And that's also another kind of weird thing that I see.
Mm hmm.
A lot of women, they like to brag that they can do a lot of things for themselves or they're independent, they're leaders. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, if you're doing all of those things by yourself, you don't really need a man.
Right. And but they used to treating their boyfriends like their sons. Like, I've seen guys
Yes.
literally, like I've seen a couples out together and it looks like she's with her son. She's walking 2-3 feet in front of him. She has this presence of, I'm with my son to go shopping to get him some shoes type. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because it's like you're sleeping with that guy. Like, why are women having relations with these males that they have to take care of? I've never understood that.
I
Like,
think they like it in a sense also, Jay, not to cut you off because
no,
they
you go ahead.
again like they do like to be in control. They like to feel as if, oh, I'm the one, you're not gonna go anywhere, or it's what I say, just like the dominant mentality. I think that's just what they like, so they know that that person won't go anywhere. But
Mm
little by little, you never know. He may find someone who may not see him the way you see him,
hmm. Mm hmm.
and then the whole roles will be reversed. So.
Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget this. About 6 years ago, I was attending this local college, right? And I was taking summer courses, and I had a class with this woman. She was in her early 40s, right? And she was dating this guy who was in his early 30s. And they
Mm.
dated for 2 years. He was a local struggle rapper, right? And she talked about how she took care of him. He lived with her, and the next thing you know, he just upped and left without no notice, and he moved across the country and got a job and settled down. You know what I'm saying? And she just didn't understand why he would do that. And I'm saying, well, you basically said, I don't have any standards. I'm desperate to be with this guy, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Meanwhile, this guy was plotting to move out and move away to be on the other side of the coast. And you didn't hear from him for months. And then she said that recently he hit her up out the blue saying, "Did you give my cookies away?" If you know what that means. You know? And I'm like, and then she said no, she didn't. So this is a woman who's still stuck on a guy who moved across the country and didn't tell her because that's how badly he wanted to get away from her. Even though she was doing all these different things for him.
Yeah, see, that's the number one thing I always try to tell women. I mean, I myself, I was that way in a sense in my past life, but
Mm-hmm.
then little by little, life taught me you cannot do more for a man than what he's doing for you because he's not going to feel like a man. It's okay to treat him, spend money on him here and there, but buying him luxury things or taking care of him, you're just going to be the caretaker.
Right. And and the one thing that I never understand is like how can you be sexually attracted to a man that you are taking care of, that you are responsible financially for? Like why how are you so how can you sleep with that person every day knowing full well he's cheating, knowing full well he's broke, he ain't trying, there are women that are okay with that arrangement due to the fact that again, like we said before, they don't respect male leaders, they don't trust male leadership, and they just say, well, as long as they look good, as long as the D is good, I'm willing to deal with them, and that's that's the roadmap to disaster for a lot of women, and that's why I have seen firsthand the bitterness due to a lot of women doing that, and they don't understand that, but I do. And I think you do too,
Yeah, I definitely do. Sex, it doesn't mean anything. Sex does not mean anything. It may feel good for an hour or however long you
Right.
have it, but in the long run, it's not going to get you anywhere,
You realize you gotta cook and clean and pay bills. Right.
especially pay bills.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this too. What do you think would end this divide? Like we've seen this campaign about, protect black women campaign, which is I find to be incredibly uh, ironic because there are women who don't protect each other. Like they will
Hmm.
sleep with each other's boyfriends or husbands. Like they will lie on each other. They will get in back and forth with each other. They don't protect each other. They don't protect themselves when they're in abusive relationships. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think about the divide? Do you think it can be healed? Do you think that uh, melanated men and women can come together and really make those necessary changes?
I think we can. And also to piggyback on what you just said, women have to want to protect themselves.
Right.
You can't put yourself in a certain predicament or in a certain situation and then want someone to protect you. Like you have to want to protect yourself and then someone will protect you, just as if no one's interested in being around someone who has nothing to bring to the table. So if you're not protecting yourself and that person sees that you're not, they're not going to protect you either.
Right. And let me ask you this too. Have you ever, not to say ever, but have you had conversations with other women about the fact that a lot of men, especially a lot of melanated men, they are changing their perspective on life. Like they're trying to do better. Like they're trying to be more successful financially. They're bettering themselves as a man. They're cleaning up their act. Do you find it that women are attracted to the bad boys or the guys who are more clean cut, not in these streets? Like from the conversations you have, what type of men do you find a lot of women still find themselves attracted to? Are they themselves trying to level up and get a higher valued man?
Some of them are. I mean, I speak to a lot of different people from different age groups and even ethnicities. So I have some females who they do kind of like the bad boy image just because it's a chase. But
Hmm.
with the whole chase title, you're kind of putting yourself to lose because you're chasing. You should never chase. You should have someone chase you in a
Right.
sense. So you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage right there. And
Hmm.
then also other situations or conversations I may have with other women, they do speak about wanting to get with a man who is working on himself, getting himself together, wanting to do better for his life or his family.
Hmm.
And sometimes it may take a while. Sometimes it may take a while for that to happen. But if you have the faith and the patience to wait to see what will happen, you never know what the reward can be. I'll say I didn't meet my husband with everything, but it's been a couple years and I see, what patience got me and
Hmm.
that's all it really takes.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's gonna take like-minded people. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are just too far gone. I think we'll be frustrated and stressed if we try to help everybody. Some people are beyond help. Like if you when you see 40, 50-year-old women still in the same situation, like they're dealing with a guy who's done nothing but go back and forth with him with her and other women. I just think that at some point you gotta realize that situation ain't gonna work. You know, uh, and I don't know. I truly believe that it's gonna take like-minded people working together to build their own sort of communities. I just believe you can't save everybody. Some people just gonna have to be let go. I've made my peace with that. I used to be frustrated, like, man, I want to red pill everybody. I still feel that way. That's just how I am. You know, I'm the type of person I like to when I'm focused on a situation, I'm like, this can be done. Like I'm the type of person I like to get shit done. I don't make excuses. I stopped making excuses when I was in my early 20s. I like to feel like people can wake up, but there are those that can't. So I'm about just red pilling the people that are willing to wake up and are willing to see things for what it is. This is a society that is becoming crazier and crazier. People are becoming crazier. Like that, the mental issues out here with people is getting to the point to where they're destroying themselves and they're trying to destroy other people. So the best I can do is speak on what I speak on, and there'll be certain pockets of people that listen to what I say and say, you know what, he's right. We do need to make the necessary changes. I've noticed that with a lot of women listen to me. I was surprised. Like when I first started making videos, I was speaking from a male perspective. I wasn't really looking for women to understand what I was saying. But as time went on, more and more women started to listen to me. And I started to wonder, I'm like, I wonder what I'm saying that has been able to intrigue them and has been able to have them buy into what I'm saying. Is it the honesty? Is it the fact that I speak on things from a perspective they've never heard before? Like I've always often thought of that because I'm noticing more and more women wanting to do better. I have a lot of married women that listen to me. I guess they're married. They say they're married, so I don't know. But they listen to me, and that's been interesting too. Like it's almost like they've understood these things, and they just never really knew who else understood it too.
Yes. Agreed. I think that has a lot to do with it. And, we just have to continue to lead by example.
Right.
Some people may not get it, they may not understand it right away, but little by little, when they see that they cannot achieve the things or, reach the goals that they really would like to reach, they'll look back and ask themselves, what am I doing? And then reflect on it. And then maybe they'll listen to one of your episodes again.
Maybe they
and
will,
then
and they
think
they
like,
should definitely
and
listen
then
to this.
think like, damn, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Or was it really me? And it was like, yeah, maybe it is you. And sometimes it's okay if you don't know it's you and you think it's the rest of the world. And what you said before about living in a bubble, that's very accurate. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to step outside of your comfort zone.
Right. And I'm all about getting people out of their comfort zone. I want to have these discussions with people. I don't want it to be shaming, you're bashing. Why do you say these things? Who hurt you? Your mother's black. They will go with those different things. And it's like none of that matters. It's all about the truth. We don't have time to play games. Things are becoming weirder, crazier, and people have to understand eventually you're going to have to wake up and see what's going on. If you don't, then too bad. You're going to stay asleep. And I'm all about helping the people that want to help themselves. That's what I'm about. That's what I've always been about. That's what I'm always going to be about. I can only be me, I can only speak of things in my perspective. But Jackie, I appreciate you coming through and recording this with me. Okay?
Of course, anytime I'll be here.
Definitely. So let people know how to find you. I'll link everything, but you can let people know because they like to hear your voice. You have such a lovely voice. So why don't you let them know where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram. Everybody's always on Instagram
Uh
at
huh.
Versatility is Key.
Mhm.
I also have a Facebook, the same name, Versatility is Key. If you would like to hear more information about trading Forex, the
Exactly.
link
Yeah.
is also in my bio on Instagram. And all of my links are in my bio on Instagram, pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
much.
Going to the forex trading real quick for the people that's listening.
Right. So I know everybody's been seeing Forex and they say, oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. It's not a scam. You literally can make money any day of the week that you would like to in the market from any hour. You can work from anywhere in the world, whether you're in Africa, Jamaica, Trinidad, the US, Canada, wherever you like to trade at in the world. The only thing you need to have is Wi Fi, a phone, or a tablet.
Mm.
And that's pretty much it. Learn the skill, look at your charts, and you'll be a pro in no time.
Absolutely, absolutely. So y'all definitely follow that advice and do that. Can definitely help you. Could put you in a better position than you were yesterday. All right.
It
Well,
really could.
absolutely. Well, I appreciate you coming through. All right. It's a very good conversation that needs to be had. You know,
Yes.
and for
It's
every
2020. It's time for us to do better.
yeah, it is. It's 2020. We definitely need to do better. I mean, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. Everybody got internet. Everybody
Yes.
got some type of Wi-Fi, or they can go to McDonald's and use theirs. Okay, so there's
I was about
always
to
a
say
place
that.
to
The
go and
internet
get
is here.
online and learn something. You know.
Right.
I see y'all on the next podcast. Y'all continue to watch the content. Continue to support me, and I'll see y'all next one. All right. Bye, y'all.